Hey everyone, Wander here, and welcome to Trainatic, or Trainatic, as in like fanatic, Trainatic. Okay. Anyway, it is an incremental game about driving a train through a forest aggressively with guns and collecting resources along the way. Interestingly enough, my save file from the demo is carried over, so I guess we're just going to start where we're at. Effectively, this guy randomly wakes up in a liminal forest with an infinite train line and is trying to find a way out. And also there's UFOs that we need to scan for. I gotta figure out how that works. But for now, at least, we're just going to, just bowl over some trees. Well, okay, bowl over is maybe not the correct word. We are going to, absolutely delete trees from existence along our path. We use wood for getting meta progression upgrades and, well, meta progression upgrades. I mean, yeah, we use wood for upgrades. And also we want to hit a certain amount of speed and trees get in our way of that. Unfortunately, we currently can't get enough speed to do so, but hey, I can still delete a silly amount of trees along the way. This has got a visual overhaul. It looks nicer. I don't remember what the trees originally looked like, but this definitely is a little bit more variety than it had previously. Oh, looks like we've actually completely run out of space for wood. So, rather than trying to, like, go further, because I don't think that's going to get me too much, we're just going to try and go out, get a full complement of stone, if possible. We also get resources for, shooting down trees, I mean, yeah. Or resources, fuel. And so when we run out of fuel, the run is over. But until then, we can just keep going as long as possible. The further we go, though, the more damage we take from running into a tree, which is going to get progressively worse. Okay, I think at this point, actually, we're just going to run out of fuel. We don't need to keep going. Because we're maxed out on inventory space. So, now that we've taken a look at this, we can buy some upgrades. Number one thing is we actually need to be able to go faster. Max speed. Need to be able to get up to at least 100. Explosive support upgrade. Supported cars attach a bomb to blocks they hit. Blocks explode when they die. Or when they're destroyed. So that's kind of useful. What else do we have? More fuel. We'll fuel cars on train. Let's see. Number of grenades per shot. Or shotgun. Extra bullet at max speed. Otherwise, I can get more armor. Didn't mean to buy multiple of those, but hey. I'm probably just going to work on maxing a number of these out. It doesn't really matter. And let's take a look at managing my train. So I got a storage car. Earn more resources from destroyed tiles. Increase storage capacity. Spike shooter shoots bullets. Destroying blocks will earn fuel while this car's on the train. Spike shooter. So, I know there's other train car types, but I think... Oh, wait, hold up. Return to the station. I think there's a car that we need to add to our train that we currently don't have. I'm going to change this one. We need the orb catcher. Progress down the track and collect resources to lure out the orb. And we want to leave it there. Looks like there's other biomes that I get access to as well. Yeah, required speed, 100. I think that was my issue. Last time I played this, I literally just didn't see the required speed, 100. Wasn't paying attention. I think I was just kind of... I was too chill. Or I had a headache. I don't know. It's one or the other. But now that we've upped my maximum speed... we should be able to lure this orb and see what that gets me. I'm going to make sure that there's as few things slowing me down as possible. If possible. Okay, orb targeted, maintain speed. Honestly, what we really could use is bullet speed more than anything else. Okay. Some things like the shotgun might also be a good idea. But I think we're gonna catch the orb. We got it. Orb collected. Return to station. At last, I've captured the orb. This power. Let's see what it's capable of. Alright, so we've obtained the orb. So, we can get another total car, which is good. There's the explosive support upgrade. Orb catcher upgrade. Okay, so we've got the map upgrade. I think I'm going to grab another total car. I don't see what I'm supposed to use the orb on. Okay, so let's go back to this one. Move car to the right. Change. Orb catcher, fuel car, grenade launcher. Randomly in the aim direction. Shoots bullets. Multiple piercing bullets. I'm gonna move the shotgun to the front. Move that there. I don't know if the shotgun is necessarily better. Oh, it is. It has way... Okay. Norb detected. Upgrade required. Okay, so in that case, let's just go back to the station. Because if this is going to be worthless to me... Oh, I don't have any of those available. Can get another spike shooter, though. I wonder if the fuel car no longer has an adjacency bonus. Okay, I didn't see the upgrade that required the orb. So I think we're just going to do one more farming run and see if we can get it. It's probably something actually obvious that I missed because I was just like, ooh, I can get another car for my train. The more trains for the car, the better. As that's going to give us just tons of, well, more firepower. I'm actually really liking the shotgun now that we've got access to it and I'm using it. It's got better spread and better shot speed. I think its only immediate problem is I haven't invested many upgrades into it. But yeah, here's hoping we can get to another biome that gives me more resources faster. And then also wrecks me faster. Probably. Okay, we're out. Yeah, there's more I could do, but why? There's no benefit for it. Okay. Oh, maps. Oh. Duh, I could have actually just picked something else. Yeah, so I don't think the fuel car needs to be adjacent to things anymore. I think it's just good to go. Okay, what else do we want to grab? So acceleration is nice. Number of grenades per shots. Bullet speed and max speed. Ooh, that is actually very good. You know, a lot of these are... Oh, a lot of these are expensive because I don't have... Oh. Supported cars attach a bomb to blocks they hit, explode when destroyed. So it's a support... Oh. So this is a whole separate tree. Still nothing that I can use the orb on, though. But that's okay. Manage train. Go back to the one on the back. And start. So let's change map. You are here. Okay. Oh, here we go. The desert. Orbs needed to unlock. I got it. Furthest distance traveled, 0 departures. So now we're in the desert. So hot. Have I traveled somewhere new? Or has the world changed around me? Or the orb seems to be gone for now. I should keep moving. Some milestones. Oh. Distance 100. So furthest distance reached. Total distance traveled. So a number of these are actually very good. So maybe going back to the forest is good, but... I can also come back to a number of these at a later date. Ooh. That kicked me back. Yeah, minus 39 fuel for hitting one of those things. Yeesh. But that's kind of what you get in a game like this. No, it's not the rocks? I have no idea. Okay, so in that case, to some degree, oh, these resources are not very useful on their own, but they can be crafted into something I can use. And well, we can immediately get another train car. A crafting upgrade. So now we have the crafting tab. So we can do glass crafting. We can do gel crafting. I'm going to do that. But do we want to actually quick go back to the forest for like a little bit? Max out all of my remaining upgrades. There are only a handful of them. Sure. Okay, so we could put the orb catcher on. What else do we have? Grenade launcher, more spike shooters. Storage support. I'll just do the grenade launcher. Okay, start, change map. So let's go back to the forest for a bit. We need to do distance 100. Because that's got a big upgrade on it, and hopefully will give me some bonuses. And shouldn't take too long to get there. That's what I get for somewhat quitting while I was ahead. Or, I don't know, quitting without thinking, but it's also one of those where, how was I supposed to know? I guess I could have been paying attention to the milestone tab. But we still need just a little bit more wood and a little bit more stone. And so there's kind of no reason not to try and go for a distance 100 in this location. I know sometimes with these games, it's, you know, people would expect me to start over fresh for the full release of the game. I think going, let's see, 61. I think continuing where I left off is better for me, at the very least. Obviously, like, we missed some of the early game context, but hey, it's already on YouTube. I think the only thing is I had my avatar in the bottom left corner, and people are like, but how much speed did you really have? And, like, that is valid. I've gotten better about where I place my avatar. Not perfect, but it's there. Okay. There's our distance 100. I'm just going to keep going until we run out. I'd swear I already did distance 100. But, suppose not. You really do start to cap out after 100, but maybe that's the point. You're not really supposed to go that much further than it. Alright. Well, we're out of fuel, but now we have this milestone. So more max fuel, more max storage, and a bunch of wood. More shotgun cars, and... let's see. Extra fire rate at max speed. All of those are extremely good. So, wow, there's a lot of these milestones. Huh. Distance 100 again. I'm curious about that one. Okay, crafting recipes on the tree. I guess I can grab these two. So what else do we have? Fuel support. Okay, so that requires resources we don't have. Let's see. Size of the explosion from the explosive support car. Okay, so I guess we just go until, well, I don't know. Let's do 100 wood again. Let's see. Or, yeah, let's see if we can get max wood We also want to try and go for the 100 distance. I don't think I'm going to do that here, though. I think we're going to go quick, considering how fast it is for being able to max out the wood. Okay, that's maxed out. So, do that again. At this point, we're just doing some very light farming to max this out. It'll make my life easy. Because once I don't need any more wood for any reason whatsoever, then we just don't have to think about this region. Otherwise, I'd like kind of leave the talent tree partially completed in a maybe not great way. Do I want to go for 100 distance? It's pretty fast to get there, so sure. Shame that my cargo size. Oh, do I not have... Oh, no, I absolutely do have the storage car. Let's see. What was I going to say? I don't know. I think this music is actually too lo-fi for me, which is an interesting state. But, like, it's so relaxing. I'm just kind of going into that, like, snooze mode. Which I wasn't exactly expecting here. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I guess I didn't get as much sleep as I would have liked the last couple days. Unfortunately, I have a pretty severe caffeine allergy, and every once in a while I'm like, nah, I can handle, like, a little bit of caffeine. It'll be fine. I'll just drink, like, you know, a bottle of this caffeinated beverage. I'll be able to go to sleep tonight. I stay up until, like, 8 a.m., and then my, like, next week is lightly ruined. Okay, let's go back to the station. That should be 100 distance. Okay, so that's it fully. For whatever reason, this one capped out at also 100, so I figured I might as well grab it. Okay, so let's take a look at upgrades. So, shouldn't be many, if any, remaining. Number of cars supported. Oh, that's huge. Okay, so let's manage the train. Because this now can move left. That no longer needs to be in the front. Neither does this, for that matter. No, I think the grenade launcher is maybe fine. Okay, we have a second shotgun. So we have 2 shotguns, spike shooter, and grenade launcher. Okay, so we're just going until I get 100 max wood. Whoa. Other train track just winked into existence. That's unnerving. So, the explosive car, the bombs that attach to my bullets, they don't actually, there's no delay on them. They explode immediately. So it's effectively just giving my shotgun a nice AoE, which is really good. Okay, so I think we just do one more of those. Because, yeah, the rest of these I think require resources that I don't normally have. Let's just max out the remaining wood in the area, and then I think we're good to go. Yeah, shotgun with explosives, very effective. I don't know what the damage is like on it, but very much seems like the most amount of blast for our buck. And that should be enough. There. Now that we're done with that, start, change maps. We are going back to the desert because the forest no longer holds any sway on me. Here it is. Damage at max speed, piercing at max speed. That'll be nice. So where do I get... Okay, so I get sand from the rocks. I guess sandstone, presumably. The one problem I think I'm running into is the shotguns don't do as much damage. Maybe? Hard to say. And I'm just going to try and keep all of my attention focused forward. Never mind. Let's go for that. I don't know what these crystals are. Gold ore. Yee! There's gold in them there hills. And it's really easy to mine comparatively. Okay. So far, so gold. Yeah, the gold gets eaten up pretty quick by my explosives. Ooh. Well, I guess there's no reason for me to keep going. Let's go back to the station. Okay, so what can I... Can't buy anything on the main tree. So, gold crafting. Glass crafting. So we can do extra efficiency. I mean... Yeah, let's just max out my efficiencies. Because I might as well come back and do another run. Oh. Reduces crafting time when any card destroys a block. Max crafting cars. Oh. We are going to need wood for this. Well, that's good to know. Let's do another run. Might as well just get as much of everything as I can grab. And go from there. Yeah, I like where this is going. The introduction of crafting as like another layer of production on top of everything else is charming. I'm curious to see what this looks like, because I'm assuming this is still like a 4 or 5 hour incremental game. A lot of incrementals have started to become that way. And I've seen a number of people kind of express discontent with that, but I think I love it. That for me, video games in general, when I was younger, I really enjoyed games that I could sink my teeth into and spend endless hours on. The older I've gotten, the more I've realized that, like, so much of that was just born from scarcity. You know, I only had a couple of games. And so, like, I wanted to get the most out of them. Whereas now that I own almost every notable video game in existence, released in the last, like, 10 years. Not fully, there's a lot of, like, big games that I've stopped collecting and whatnot, but when you're a YouTuber, you just get sent a lot of video games. And so, this has kind of created this weird situation where I'm, like, no longer super excited about, games that take hours and hours and hours. You know, the moment something advertises is like, oh, it's big open world, I'm like, oh no. Okay, reduces crafting time when any card destroys a block, max crafting cars, reduce crafting time per block destroyed. So, like, sure. Yeah, what else do we have? Sniper upgrade, large piercing bullet, but I can't afford it. Spike shooter upgrade, acceleration, shotgun upgrade. I think I'm going to go for the shotgun upgrade while we're here. Spike shooter, let's see. Bullet duration, max speed. Or just bullet speed. Okay, that's better. We are definitely going to have to go back, manage the train for a second. I'm going to swap out the grenade launcher for crafting car. And let's start, change map. We're back to the woods again. Turns out I will not be free of this place. We just need to get an amount of wood and have that stocked. Like, I don't actually know, you know, how much of this is mirrored with other people. But a common refrain I've heard from a lot of folks is, you know, with the advent of, like, Steam sales and, I mean, really, yeah, Steam sales and digital availability. You know, older, like, back in the day, pre-digital distribution, when a game went out of production and, you know, it was no longer, like, the dev's focus, they would just stop producing discs of it after a certain point, and it would just fall off store shelves. Now, when a game, quote-unquote, falls out of production, it just gets progressively cheaper. You know, not every game ends up that way. But, you know, if you're not really interested... Well, okay. Every video game has kind of like an upper limit to how much people will buy it at a certain price point. Hollow Knight Silksong is probably going to be the easy example I can give here. It's $20, which is very cheap for how good that game is, just like how Hollow Knight was $15, which is extremely cheap for how good that game was. I think at the time they were just being conservative and pricing themselves low because they didn't want to come off as greedy. Because I think that game had been kickstarted back when the Wii U was still like a active platform, and times have changed since. But because it was so affordable, $15 for a 40, 50 plus hour Metroidvania with some of the best production value in the entire industry. Like, go figure that that's going to take the internet by storm eventually. It took a little bit to work up. I'm thinking the same thing with Slay the Spire. You know, that is one of the best roguelikes ever made, and I think it was also $15. And so for them, they can keep their price kind of low because they know that they are guaranteed to sell gangbusters. Let's do like one more. Huh. Time of day changed, sort of. You know, they know that they're going to sell gangbusters, so it's not really a problem, and they can set that price. I'm also thinking like RimWorld and Factorio setting a hard price of, what, $30? And rarely, if ever, offering sales, because they know they can get away with it. Because people are going to buy those games like crazy. Admittedly, now, Factorio at least has good competition. I don't think anybody's come close to matching RimWorld. Maybe Oxygen not included, but for different reasons. But so, as a result, let's go with... What's a good game that... Deathloop. Deathloop is one of my favorite games, oddly enough. It has flaws, but I thought it was a lot of fun, and the idea of it excites me, even if the actual execution makes me never want to play it again. I guess it's one of my favorite games on a conceptual level. Maybe is the easy way to put it. Let's see, milestones. So, more damage, more number of cars, crafting. Okay, now I've got a stupid amount of those things at least. So additional storage while the car's on the train? Sure. Let's see, more fuel. Like, some of these would be nice. I think I'm gonna max out the spike shooter speed. Let's see, fire rate at max speed, bullet speed at max speed. I'm just gonna go for the damage on these. We can get the sniper now. Not that I'm sure if I actually even want it. Okay, that should be good. Let's change the map. Now we can go back to the desert, and I think we're in a very good spot to start, oops, blowing through things. However, I do have a extra car that I can move up. Let's see. I don't think we're going to be doing orb yet. Let's just get another spike shooter and start. Oh yeah, now we plow through things much faster. Okay, so Deathloop's a great example of this, where they sold it at, what, $60? Which I think was a fine price. I mean, it was a AAA release. I think that game probably would have done better if they sold it closer to like 40 or 50. That it was just weird enough that if you lower your price... Okay, so most AAA games try to sell at maximum possible value because, well, you know, they want to make as much money as they possibly can from the fans that would buy the game. And then what they do after that point is they lower the price progressively, $10, $20, $30. Because effectively every single person has more or less a F-it threshold. You know, the impulse buy threshold where they will buy a game that they're interested in but possibly on the wall about. So, you know, what's a good example of this? I covered a game, Daemon X Machina Titanic Scion, yesterday. That is an okay game. It's not an amazing game, it's not groundbreaking. I enjoyed it well enough, but it wasn't like something that made me want to play like hours and hours of it. I lie, I actually very much want to play more. But it's still one of those games that I think they're selling for 70 bucks, which is insane. I know that, you know, inflation and tariffs and a bunch of other things are making it necessary to sell games at that price, and I understand why that's happening, but it is still a lot of money. Let's see. I can get another car. Oh boy. Okay, what other milestone did we get? Destroy blocks, so bullet duration, damage and max speed. Sure thing. Okay, another car. I'm very glad that they made some of these cars no longer do support. I think it was the fuel car originally was a support car. And that felt kind of bad. Okay, so yeah, developers set a price at, you know, 60, 70, whatever dollars. And yeah, so Titanic Scion, 70 bucks. Not a bad game, but 70 bucks is real steep for a game that is not going to be extremely good. Like, at this point, I could kind of accept 70 bucks is the new price of high-end AAA. If, you know, Tears of the Kingdom 2 comes out, that's kind of what I would expect it to be. I'm going to grumble about the price all the same because wages have not risen to match, you know, the cost of goods, and everybody's, you know, overall buying power is severely diminished compared to what it used to be. But, like, game developers kind of also have to eat, but also don't buy indie games, because yeah, a lot of like big corporate AAA games, you know, all of the a lot of the revenues that they get go straight to investors and or corporate compensation packages, whereas like Silk Song goes to the people who made it. That's all there is to say on that one. But do we want to just do? I mean, we kind of just want all of these. Let's go for the fire rate. How's my crafting going? Yeah, we can bump that up a ton. I should be probably investing in these. Because yeah, we want to speed up our crafting as much as humanly possible. Let's see, what was I going to say? Buying indie games and whatnot. Okay, so games like Titanic Scion. 70 bucks is too steep for most people, but somebody who either liked Daemon X Machina, liked Armored Core, or is just fiending for a good mecha game, even if it's rough around the edges, those are going to be the people that buy the game at full price. And then at some point the developers drop the price by 25%. So it goes from what, 70 to... I mean, that would be about 50 bucks. That's still pretty steep for people. That's still kind of in the perceived range of full-price launch AAA game. So I don't think they're going to pick up too many people that, you know, they otherwise, you know, would have picked up at full price. And that's generally true. You know, most people don't jump for 25% off unless it's something they were actively saving up for. Then it's like, okay, cool, I will pick this up. This has been my experience with Warhammer, I guess. That, you know, hey, here are these things that I want. I don't need them now. Hey, it's 30% off for, you know, a clearance sale. Cool, I'll pick it up then. Let's see. We want to, I mean, really just keep maxing this out. Okay, storage car upgrade. Send a drone back to the station with resources, freeing up space. Yo. Okay, that's extremely good. Let's see. Let's manage train, or not manage train. Let's go back to the forest because it turns out I need more wood. So we'll do a couple rounds of this. This is also nice and quick. So, okay. So 50 bucks, not really that big of a sale. Definitely doesn't really convince a whole lot of people to pick it up. Just the people who wanted it but couldn't initially afford it. And you can keep it at that 25% sale for like half a year, give or take. Before If you drop the price too fast within half a year, then it becomes a problem. But a 25% off sale, 6 months later, most people aren't going to, like, be grumpy about that, and it's not going to affect how you think about game sales and prices and stuff. And then, about a year later, maybe you're good for a 40-50% off sale. Unless your game's still selling well, at which point you probably don't want to do that. But if sales have slowed to a crawl, it makes perfect sense to drop the price. Not permanently, but, just have it on a cheaper sale as part of a Steam sale. Heck, you can even do a reach. This is actually something that No Man's Sky would do. That, it wasn't initial, but once the game was in a good state, they would periodically sell it for half off or less to kind of get people in, but only for a week or for a Steam sale. Steam summer sale, Steam winter sale, stuff like that. And I should probably actually go back. Because, yeah, we want to grab as much wood and stone as possible, but we don't want to be running around with a full supply. But so No Man's Sky would do this, where they would actually sell the game, like, kind of, not at a loss, but they would undercut themselves heavily, seldomly, and only for a short period of time, usually around major updates. And if the major update was good enough, that sale would go away, but people are still talking about it. People are really interested. I gotta play No Man's Sky again now, I'm thinking about it. And so what this would do is, if the sale was on, anybody who doesn't have the game yet might hit their effort threshold and say, okay, fine, I'm gonna buy No Man's Sky finally and see how it goes. Even if I don't like it, it's a fine enough price that I'm not gonna regret the purchase. And then those people start playing No Man's Sky, and at least a portion of them really like No Man's Sky. All of a sudden you have a bunch of people who really like No Man's Sky, they got it on a very good price, who are talking to their friends, the people in their communities, whoever, saying, hey, No Man's Sky is actually really good. But the price has already gone back up. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that a lot of people are going to buy it full price. However, it does mean that there's a lot of people who might still buy it full price because they want to play with their friends, now that the game actually has multiplayer in it, as opposed to the kind of weird light orb nonsense that they had at the start. And so some people will buy it at full price now that they've been kind of convinced by word of mouth that this is a game that is worth it even at full price. But a lot of other people will be waiting for that next sale, and it keeps kind of snowballing from there. And as long as they keep putting out good updates for the game, it's just going to keep pulling people in. To go back to Daemon X Machina, it doesn't really have that opportunity. It just does not have that much longevity to it. They can do a couple of updates probably for the next year. It's a good way of kind of bringing people back in, 25% off sale every time one of those big updates comes through, easy peasy. But periodically, they start dropping the sale price lower and lower and lower, because what they're trying to do is scoop up that impulse buy threshold that, some people who wouldn't have bought it at 70 might buy it at 50, might buy it at 30, might buy it at 20, might buy it at 10, and that's how you get a bunch of these AAA games years after their release selling for almost nothing comparatively. And so it's a very long roundabout way to get back to the topic I was talking about. So as a result, if you're savvy enough and patient, you can get almost any major game for almost nothing, as long as you're okay with it not being like the popular game of the month. I've seen some discourse back and forth about the idea of like, is this game still relevant? It's like, who gives a dang? I mean, a lot of people actually do want that shared social experience of playing whatever the popular game is. Judging by the average age of people that watch my videos, a number of you were around when like Smash Melee or even like Pokemon Red and Blue were like new and normal, and the internet was still kind of a burgeoning existence, and weird rumors abounded everywhere. Let's go back to the station. I'll probably have a hell of a lot of stuff to queue up for crafting. Cool. And we've made some progress on other things. Extra bullets per shot. Oh, that's nutty good. But first and foremost, anything I can do to make that better? No. So what we want is drone frequency and resources per drone. Get both of these up to 5. I think I can actually get both of them up to 10. Because those are extremely good. So we don't know what either of those give me. That's fine. Additional resources gathered. Oh boy. Max out my acceleration, boost up my max speed. Let's see, where am I at? Where am I at shotgun-wise? Another bullets per shot. I like the shotgun a bunch. I think I'll probably stick with it. No, I think the spike shooters have actually become considerably better than they were. Let's see. Anything else? I mean, I have resources to spare, so let's just get spendy, I suppose. I should probably actually get the sniper. Now I'm thinking about it. Okay. Manage train, we've got a couple of empty cars. Okay. Move this. Crafting car, empty. Storage drone car. Oh, I see. That's why that wasn't working. And I can only have one of each of those. I'm gonna move the sniper up. I don't necessarily know if giving the sniper explosives is really that amazing, but it's probably good. Oh, this is not where I want to be. Return to station. We want to do change map. We want to go back to the desert. Okay. So, yeah, my point is, as long as you're reasonably patient, you can kind of get every single video game. You know, wait a couple years, you can get access to every single video game ever made. Oh, right, I was talking about, like, Pokemon and rumors and things like that. Why was I talking about that? Why was that relevant? Shoot, I lost that train of thought. Horror. I shouldn't have stopped the train, I should have just kept going. I was thinking about the rumors of, like, Mew and other things. And, like, rumor mongering that, like, Sonic was in Smash Brothers Melee somehow. I forget how that ties into, you know, getting access to any and every game under the sun. Oh, I was talking about, like, relevancy. That's what it was. That, like, there was something special about, like, the early days of Pokemon, especially the rumors of how to get Mew, because you didn't have access to the internet. Same thing with Sonic the Hedgehog. Like, the internet was there, GameFAQs existed, but it wasn't like this big, monolithic thing. You couldn't just search any bit of information and find it instantly. You know, you didn't have whole organizations of people designed to spoil as much as possible about every single game in existence. I mean, okay, so indie games still can manage to go completely uncovered, but big AAA game, like, there's full playthrough, like, full 100% platinum runs of games available more or less right from the get-go. And so there are no more secrets anymore. Unless you want there to be, if you don't look at anything. But as part of that, there is kind of this constant back and forth of created culture. Created and shared culture of being active in a video game. You know, being up to date with it, your friends are playing it, you're playing it, everybody on the internet is playing it, back and forth, cool secrets, funny things, epic stories and whatnot. So a lot of people do actually want that shared community, whereas if you want to go back and play, I don't know, Mega Man Legends 1, like, there's going to be a number of people out there who will still be willing to share that with you, but it's not the same. It's more of kind of like, yeah, I played that when I was younger. So I was talking to one of my friends about Resident Evil, and he's like, yeah, you're recently into Resident Evil. You know, I've been playing it since I was a kid. And there's kind of that disconnect there of like, well, you can't quite share the same experience because it's not fresh. It's kind of more like, I'm late to the party, and so I can see why people want to be up to date. And I get that, and I think that's good. I also think that the way the internet moves nowadays, I think that's a lot less doable than it used to be. That, wow, we really should probably put the orb catcher on this thing. We ran out of fuel entirely because the degradation was that bad. Well, that's fine. I'm sure we got, like, loads of resources. The energy signature, the orb is slightly different here. I'm gonna catch it, and upgrade to the orb catcher will be needed. Orb catcher. Okay, well, that was fast. Let's see, what is this? piercing at max speed. Sure. What is this? Lightning Aspire. Falls down a lightning bolt. That could be fun. Okay. Extra damage, bigger explosion size. Sure. More damage, more fire rate. That's a lot of stuff. Looks like I'm going to need more wood. Beans. Well, it's okay. I want to check upgrades real quick. Yeah, this requires things I don't have. Manage train. Let's catch that orb, go to the next region. Hopefully there's a way for me to get more wood later. Okay, orb catcher, and start. Okay, required speed 120. Oh, this is going to be easy. Let's see. But if you're willing to not have that, like, immediate sense of shared culture, which, again, is harder, you know, unless you're playing, like, the most popular current game, there's more games than ever being made. People are really kind of fragmenting. And so, like, even genres that used to have, like, one monolithic lead game. I'm thinking, like, Counter-Strike. Back in the day, Counter-Strike, Source, and Call of Duty, and Battlefield were, like, the three competitive shooters. There were other ones, but none of them held a candle. Now there's, like, Marvel Rivals, there's still Overwatch, there's still Valorant, there's multiple Counter-Strikes, there's multiple Battlefields, multiple Call of Duties. And so as part of that, it's kind of harder to have that shared culture because everybody's so distributed and has preferences. Like, I even remember, like, my friends and I got into competitive shooters when I was a kid, and we all got into Battlefield 2 together, and that was kind of our thing, at least for a little bit. And then they got into Counter-Strike Source. I didn't like it as much. And then 2142 came out. I went hard for that game. I loved it. My friends didn't. I don't even think most of them bought it. And so as a result, you know, there's kind of this fragmentation. Okay, let's manage train. Or start, change map. Can we go here now? Yes. The cavern. But we're going back to the woods, actually. Manage train for a bit. Change the orb catcher to... Where's the lightning? Spike shooter, lightning spire. Just because I'm going to need a number of things here. Go for explosion size, more lightning bolts per cast. Yersh. Okay. Let's see. So what was I going to say? Oops. I need to hit the accelerator. Ooh, the lightning spire is awesome. But so, yeah, in the end, I was the one playing tons and tons of 2142 and everybody else was playing something else. And so, like, I think the kind of sense of LAN party shared culture is kind of gone by the wayside. At least compared to what I had when I was a kid, which is kind of a shame. Every once in a while you get, like, the big thing game, but I think the big thing game right now is Silksong, and, like, half the discourse I see is back and forth on whether or not the game is too hard, which, like, I actually do think it is too hard for me. I was not really enjoying the experience, and so I said, you know what, no, I'm gonna play something else, which has been, I actually don't know what I've been doing. I think I've been reading books instead. My parents are visiting in a couple of days, and so I don't want to get too committed to a video game at the moment. I guess Digimon World 1 is the other thing I've been working on, which, members, I guess, have been watching. Because, yeah, I actually figured I'd do a Let's Play series for once. No idea if that's going to go public or not, but still. Anyway. But, so, to go back to the original topic that I kind of brought up as part of this, the idea of long incremental games versus shorter ones, is that longer games had an appeal back when I had a handful of games in my library. You know, when you only have 3 N64 games because your parents won't let you buy more, yeah, you're going to want something like Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask that you can get lost in for hours. Even just kind of messing around because you don't really know how to progress, but it's kind of fun to just, like, explore and fight things, even if you're not, like, making reasonable progress along the way. And so, for me, I don't get excited about these big, long games in the same way anymore because it feels like they're designed to waste my time a little bit. Or a lot. You know, I've been watching my wife play Blue Prince, and she oscillates between being like, yeah, I solved one of the big puzzles, and oh god, I've been doing the same run over and over and over again, and I'm making 0 progress on anything. And it feels bad. Yeah, and part of the problem with Blue Prince is it's just so RNG based that it's entirely up to luck whether or not you're going to get the thing that you want, and that's not fun. But, you know, I've been thinking about this with, like, MMOs, or Ubisoft games is a good example. Like, I'd like to play a big open world game again, but the sheer thought of doing so is stressful and makes me feel unhappy, so I'm not going to. Okay, I think that's probably enough resources. The other thing is, going on those, like, big runs gives me access to a hell of a lot of stuff. Okay, let's go to the cavern and see what we can get out of this. Interesting. Once again, I can no longer feel the presence of the orb. I should make use of these new resources. Okay, so let's go back to crafting. Craft max. Do we get... Oh, we do have another milestone somewhere over here. More fire rate. Oh, God. The sad part is... Oh, no, I'm actually doing pretty well here. And one of my biggest problems that I was running into initially with this was that my shot speed could not hold a candle to my train speed. And so I was running into things regardless. Now that we've got enough shot speed that my train can't hope to catch, it's generally easier. Whoa! Alright, cool. These crystals hold limitless power. With these, I can research ways to make my cars more powerful. Okay, so we have obsidian crafting. Let's just max up my efficiency on it. Now, what is this down here? Unlock science. Okay, spends crystals to upgrade... Oh, science. I see, so it's an infinite progression option. It just gets progressively more expensive. Cool. Oh, I should have actually done some obsidian crafting there. It's fine. It's fine. But, yeah, at least for me, you know, I've picked up so many of these games for $10 that I have a list that I call, like, unmissable games incomplete, that are games that I've put exactly 1 hour into, said, this, I could see myself getting obsessed with this game at some point, I just need to find the time for it. I've got like 300-400 games on that list. And if each of these is, you know, 10 hours plus, that's thousands of hours. That's years worth of content that I still have to get through. And so the idea of an incremental game that is, like, extremely long and, like, hard to clear all the content in. Looking at you, antimatter dimensions. You know, I'm sure people love that one, but every time I try and play that game, I hate myself. I do really wish there was a separate song for each location I went to. The fact that it's the same one, but maybe with a bit more reverb here is a little weird. Okay, one way or another, we should go back to the station. Oh, we haven't actually gotten the drone yet. It's fine. Whoa. Explosive support. Some of these are kind of pricey. What we really want, though, is crafting. Okay. Okay, grenade support, lightning spire upgrades, sniper upgrade, explosive support upgrade might be good, but let's max this out first. Anything else? Another train car. Bunch of armor. Prevent me from getting absolutely blasted when I run into a rock. Grab those. And let's go back to science, because I'm still thinking shotgun. And maybe a little bit of spike shooter. Oh, managed train. I forgot, we've got one car here. So hoping I get some more support cars. Let's see. Change this one. So what do you have? Orb catcher. Grenade. But I'm really not investing towards grenade in the slightest. I'm just going to throw the orb catcher on. Go from here. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I just don't get excited when I can tell a game is going to be long. Because for me, at least, the core gameplay loop usually fades after a while. Take this game, for example. How much further can I go? You know, almost all of my guns are firing endless streams of shots. And even if I did go, even if it went further faster, you know, it does a little bit more damage, fires a little bit faster, eventually, instead of even individual bullets, it's just streams of damage. You know, maybe you could throw in some stuff like Ricochet, has piercing already. You know, ultimately, there's only so much you can do. I think I actually should be wiggling my mouse back and forth a little bit. Because, yeah, my bullets do more than enough damage, so if I wiggle in a direction, we don't have to worry about the, turn radius as much. Okay. Yeah, it's pretty good. Do we want to go back? No. We actually want to go until I run out of juice. Because we want to figure out where the orb shows up. Because that's our next limiting factor here. And while I want to get more crafting going, we shouldn't sacrifice progress for the sake of efficiency. Let's see. I'm still thinking about, like, games and prices and going down and having, like, massive backlogs. Like, I think it is nice to have a good backlog. I think it's nice to have options. For me at this point, I'm reaching that point where I'm looking at new games with not some level of, like, suspicion, but fatigue. Where it's just kind of like, I don't know, it's just another one of these things. I hate to say it, even Silksong kind of suffered from that a little bit. Oh, I think this is one of the first times I've doubled back on myself. You know, I've seen the tracks that double back, I've just never done it myself. You know, there's a couple of games that I will go out of my way for that I'm, like, really excited for. I'm thinking, like, Digimon Time Stranger. Whatever that's going to be, I'm hoping it's going to be good. I'm sure there's, like, a bunch of other games that kind of fall into that category. I just would need to look more. But I have so many games on my to-do list, it's kind of hard to look forward than anything else. And so, as a result, these shorter little kind of incremental games end up fitting into my life really well. You know, hey, I want to play Trainatic for like 5 hours, and then I'm done. Cool. You know, I still wish there was a little bit more, like, choices to be made here, rather than just where I'm allocating my resources. But at least there's some. You know, the way I've organized my train, I like that. I think that's good. I just wish I had more options within that. But, like, as it stands, I can't go full lightning train here, because I just don't have the supplies for that. But how cool would it have been if there had been, like, more shotguns, more lightning, more grenades, and you can really, like, max your train out with a bunch of support cars and interesting things for build crafting. As it stands, it ends up being just kind of a bullet storm comboed with some neat ideas, or lightning in this case. And who knows, maybe if I go further we get more support cars. But yeah, at least putting together your train gave me some semblance of... Cripes, I've gone really far. Okay, we're starting to run out. You can see my fuel is starting to tick down pretty hard. Because yeah, whatever the degradation is competing with how fast I'm destroying everything in my path. Yeah, so we're gonna just run out of juice momentarily, and that's okay. That's kind of what we want. The orb go by? Are you kidding me? The orb didn't go by. How? Or, no, there it is. What am I missing? Ah, it's still obsidian ore. Alright, good enough. Milestones. Well, that gives me more shotgun cars at the very least. Okay, so I think the big one is... we want to max this out. Let's see. What is this one? Minigun upgrade. Oh, that could be fun. Unfortunately, I'm going to need that much more obsidian to do it. Well, on the plus side, required speed 130. What is my top speed? Oh, it is currently 125. Shoot. But yeah, this is the kind of game that either it sits in my backlog until I need it, or I complete it quickly and I get it out of my backlog super fast. And so the longer I go on, the more games I play, the more I really respect a tightly designed game that only takes like 4 to 5 hours to complete. Because I can actually get excited for those, kind of, sort of. Let's see. Ooh, that's a bad double back. Not that it's a huge issue. I guess I should be shooting off to the side during those. And yeah, the drone delivery upgrade's very good here. Anywho, I guess I've kind of said my piece. I haven't exactly talked as much about Trainatic as maybe I should have on this video, but it's okay. I had talked about it previously. I think it's pleasant. I think it could have done with a little bit more of a lot of things, music especially, and like support cars and maybe some other things, but who knows? Maybe the game keeps going. Maybe there are more layers. You know, adding crafting and science is fun, even if it's still kind of surface level of just like, oh, here's a somewhat time-gated resource that you don't get access to immediately. However, you know, here's a way to kind of subvert that immediately as well. Here's science to give you something to grind for infinitely if you want to. It's a lot, and it feels charming. Okay, let's go back to the station. Hopefully we have a decent amount of obsidian. It's enough. Yeah, I should probably grab that. Let's see, minigun upgrades. Oh, I have a lot of crystals. Go more fire rate at max speed. I'm a fool. Wait, am I? How do I go faster? Oh, because I need that. Goofus. I have no way of making this go faster. Let's see. So do I have enough obsidian ore? I do. Now we should actually go back to desert for a bit. Because yeah, I need 5 more max speed to be able to do anything at this point. What was I going to say? I don't know. I think I've said enough. It's a pleasant game. I think it's one of those, like, good turn your brain off, not idle at all games, I don't think. Question. I'm going to check the options. Is there a way that I can actually do toggle shoot? Yeah, so you can actually turn on auto shoot if you want to. I actually appreciate that. That is going to save my hand. I think you still have to aim, though. Wow, the delivery drone is extremely effective. Let's see. Yeah, I might actually have to go back to the desert. Or not the desert as well, the forest as well, because I think I need other things for gel. But it's fine. Anywho, I might as well mention at this point that Trainatic is available now on Steam. Came out, I think, yesterday. I'm not entirely sure when this video is coming out, but it's worth it if you like little incremental games that do something different. It's one of the few that I can think of where you are the bullet hell. Well, no, I guess there are a number. There's something really charming about effectively playing as a train plow simulator as an incremental game. And I think that gives it a lot of weird charm. I'm curious to see how much further it goes. Because, like, really, they could just keep having more and more environments. Like, we could go for quite a while, and I'd have no idea. And maybe the depth that I'm really looking for in this game is there. I just have to keep going with it. Who knows? For now, though, I guess if you liked this video in any way, shape, or form, leave me a like. It helps more than you know. And if you want to see more rad new games every single day, then hit subscribe because I got tons to check out and show off. Well, for now, thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you next time.